Well, the Christmas season has begun. If you don't believe me, just turn on the TV and every 30 seconds you see another commercial for Black Friday, which actually started a week before Thanksgiving this year. It's just absolutely crazy. My producer on the radio show was all up in arms because he's got a job at Best Buy and they had him working Thanksgiving evening. This season has actually become chaotic. And without getting on a soapbox, I challenge you to release what the world is now saying this season is all about. They're telling us it's about the number of gifts that we buy. They're telling us it's about how many parties we go to. They're telling us it's about how much money we spend. They're telling us one thing after another that is just not the truth. When we buy into that, we create a very hectic life for ourselves. As we go through the season, our life still moves along as it has always. But then we add the additional chores of shopping and all of the parties. And if we throw a party, it's even more so. We add all of these extra things to a life that really doesn't change a whole lot. We get worn out. When we get tired, we start building a wall between us and God, between us and our essence. It has been proven that tired is one of the key factors in losing touch with the truth of us, with our authenticity. Tired, hungry. Now this time of year you might think hungry is impossible. You know, for those of us that are pretty well off, we've always got something going on. Parties usually have a lot of food. Thanksgiving, I way overdid it. However, that food is not always nutritional. It doesn't always provide what our bodies need. So yes, in a sense, we are still hungry. Let's see, what else? Angry is another one of the blocks. If we, even the least little things, you know, we're out here, you know, we've got all this going on, we're doing so much good, we're buying these great presents, then somebody that we think should respond does something even little bitty, we get angry a little. All of these things are building blocks that divide us. They separate us, kind of. You know, we're never truly separated from God, but that's what it feels like. We feel like we're separated from God. And the more we do that, the more we look outside, the more we buy into the shopping, the more we buy into the parties, the more we buy into the people and everything that's going on outside. That's not what the season is all about. This season is about love. This season is about peace. This season is about joy. This season is about gratitude. Most of all, this season is about oneness with God. This season is the celebration of the birth of Jesus, who brought with him the Christ mind for everyone. That's the gift of the season, is the Christ mind that is available to each and every one of us. It just happened to manifest with the birth of a child in Bethlehem many, many, many years ago. He actually learned it. He wasn't born with it, but he learned it. He discovered it, accepted it. I think that's probably a better word. This is kind of, I hadn't thought of that before, but he accepted it, which is all we're asked to do, is accept it. But with that birth, everything that happened before then, the rules and the regulations and the strictness of it all kind of went to the wayside, and the love and the acceptance and the gratitude and the joy and the peace were exposed to all of us as the truth of our being. One of the things that prevents us from getting there, along with all of that other stuff, is the shoulds. I have a very good friend who does a whole course on shoulding all over yourself. Okay? We get caught up, and it usually comes from a place of love and gratitude, and we feel like we should do certain things. We feel like we should take that extra step for somebody else who may or may not even need it. We feel like we should attend all of the parties we're invited to. We feel like we should buy double the amount of gifts that are acceptable, whatever, however you want to define that. We feel like we should do everything. If you look back into history, those shoulds usually come from parents, churches, government. They come from the past. They're things that may have worked beautifully before, may not serve us now. So when you catch yourself in the should, stop. Ask yourself, does it serve your highest purpose now? If it doesn't, maybe you need to reconsider it. Because by doing that, you open yourself back up to the truth of the season, the love, the peace, the joy. How does your love work when you're stuck in the should, when you're stuck in all of the chaos of the season? How well is that really working for you or anybody else? When you're stuck in the chaos of the season and the shoulds, how is gratitude working for you? Usually it's resentment. Usually when you're doing something because you should do it, there's resentment right under the surface. Sometimes it's not under the surface. Sometimes it's out in plain sight. Sometimes, though, it is under the surface. The chaos and the shoulds do not serve your highest good. They do not bring you to that place where love and joy and peace and gratitude, your divine goodness, can be present. So how do we connect with our divine goodness, with our essence, with the divine in us? That's the cool part. You meditate. You have gratitude practice. You give gifts to yourself. You take time for you. Now, how do you do that when you have all of this craziness going on in the world? The Christmas season makes you speed up. It takes away time. How are you going to have time for all of this? Well, as we said a couple of weeks ago, and I don't remember who said it now, it was either Buddha or the Dalai Lama or somebody, one of the great thinkers of our times, of the world, said, if you do not have time to meditate for 15 minutes, meditate for 30. How does that work? You make time to create what I call sacred practices. By making time, you put your body, your mind, your soul, your entire spirit into a place that you can then do what's most important for you. That happens because, number one, you're able to see what's most important for you. This is not selfish. This is not selfish at all. When you discover what's most important for you, you then know how best to serve others. You then know how best to provide what others need, because you're not seeing a $10 toy as important when what they really need is a $50 shopping spree for clothes. We talked about that with the angel tree this morning. Some of them wanting clothes instead of toys. We get to see what they need. We get to see what serves their highest purpose better because we've taken care of ourselves. We've connected with the divine in us. That allows us to see the divine in them. You take time to take care of yourself, and you create the ability to see more, to understand more, to connect more fully with them. Also, the secondary benefit of taking time for you and creating this sacred time, these sacred practices, is that when you clear your mind, you can look at your schedule a little more clearly. It doesn't look like chaos anymore. It looks like individual pieces that you can sort and put in a way that's most productive for you. Think about all of the gifts that you're going to buy this year. And I'm not saying this is not about not buying gifts. That's not what my talk's about today. I think gift giving is absolutely wonderful. That's not what this is about. What this is about is, if you think about all of the gifts that you're buying, all of the people that you're buying for, and let's just say that it's 10. For many people it's a lot more, some it's less. But for each of those 10 people, some of them will probably have multiple gifts. You know, if it's a child or a parent or a sibling, you might buy 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. You know, it depends on how you want to spoil them. That adds up. So if 10 people and you were buying an average of 2 per person, now you have 20 gifts. Most of us don't go to one store and buy everything. Most of us are going to hit Cabela's or Walmart, and then we've got something over here at Target, and then Best Buy's got one, and we travel all over the place. Well, when we take this sacred time each day, we can plan better. We don't see this as just a big blob of things we've got to do. We can start planning better. And we might find that that my nephew Hayden would like a set of headphones and a gift card to Best Buy, instead of me going to Best Buy to buy one thing and Cabela's to buy something else. It may be that I can combine and go to the same place. It may be that maybe instead of 2 or 3 gifts, it's one really fantastic gift. We get to see these things better because we've connected not only with ourselves. It's not just that we've calmed ourselves down, but we're really seeing things through the eyes of God. That's what we're here for. So these sacred practices I'm talking about, I've got a couple of examples, or actually more than 2. One of them is meditation. That's huge. Since I started meditating, I really do believe that I have brought more peace into my life, no matter what's going on. I really believe that I see things more clearly. Not everything. There's still some things that seem pretty crazy that I'm bringing in. But it calms everything. And when I'm calm, I'm more productive. I'm more loving. Those building blocks that we talked about earlier, the sadness, the tiredness, the hungry, that they don't build up as much. So my connection with God is more evident. Meditation is a great way to go. If you don't meditate well, here's the secret. There's nothing to it. Meditation is quieting the mind. We have fooled ourselves, or many people have fooled ourselves into thinking meditation is about getting the big aha experience that is going to cure cancer. Even though we've never been to school and studied as a doctor, we think we're going to get that kind of awareness. That's not what meditation is about. Meditation is simply calming ourselves, calming our mind, quietening everything down, and just being there, because that's where we are with God. That's where tremendous communication happens, even if we don't hear words. It's simply a feeling, and that feeling oftentimes is pure peace. And then we get up from our meditation and we go, I didn't hear anything. I didn't get any messages. Yeah, we've all done that. We think we didn't get any messages. Pure peace is the message. That's where we're with God. Okay? So that's all you do. Now, some people, well, I can't get there. My mind goes here. All these excuses. It's very simple. Focus on your breath. And then I was taught one time to count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you do that over and over again. Because when you're doing that, your mind can't really think about anything else. And when you do catch yourself thinking about anything else, you go back to your breathing, you go back to the counting. Now, I was also told, I did not believe it until it happened, but I was told that one time you're going to sit there and you're going to realize that you're at 489, and then you just stop yourself. Say, okay, found it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because what happens is when you catch yourself at numbers higher than 4, that means your mind has gone off somewhere. Just come back. And it's that simple. It's that simple. We just finished, some of us just finished the Deepak and Oprah meditation series, which I love. That's another way to do it. You go in, they talk a little bit about the topic for the day, and then you go into silence with just some music in the background. So there are many ways to do it. The trick is, don't go in there with these expectations of the answers to your problems or the answers to the world problems. Sometimes after you come out of meditation, you will be there because your mind has calmed enough that you're seeing things and hearing things more clearly. Okay, but that's not what meditation is about. Meditation is simply to calm and quieten yourself. In this season, that is extremely helpful. Okay, another great practice this time of year, and again, if you don't have time to do 15 minutes worth of it, do 30, is a gratitude practice. The gratitude practice, many of us have, there's so many versions of it. You know, you name 3 things each day that you're grateful for, or have a gratitude journal. I just learned a new thing that I have started playing with that really makes a lot of sense to me. It's still a gratitude practice, but you come up with 2 or 3 things each day that you want to do, and then you expand on those. For instance, if I'm grateful for the air I breathe, then you list 5 reasons that that's important to you. 5 reasons that you're grateful for the air that you breathe. It gets you to start looking at the details and not just do this surface level gratitude. So try that, expand it. Always be sure that at some point in your gratitude practice you include yourself. Most of us forget that. Include yourself and make 15 reasons you're grateful for you. Okay? A breathing exercise is another great thing to do, and the reason I like a breathing exercise is if you practice it in private, especially wrapped around one of your meditations, it's something that you can take out into the world with you. For instance, the breathing exercise is just breathe in, count to 4, hold it for a count of 2, and release a count of 6. You do that 3 times. So breathe in 4, hold for 2, release for 6. You do that 3 times, and you will relax. The more you do it, the more you relax. Well, the great thing about this, and the reason I like it so much, is you can be in the middle of the shopping mall, chaos and craziness happening all around you, and you can do that. Nobody knows you're doing it, and you start relaxing. The stress level will come down. So I love that practice. And then, of course, there's another one that's perfect. Is giving a gift to you. If you like massage, go get a massage. If you don't ever go out to eat, treat yourself to a nice dinner out somewhere. Do something that you wouldn't normally do for you. We forget about ourselves often this time of year. That is not what the Christmas season is about. The Christmas season is a gift to us. It is the gift of love, gratitude, peace, joy, oneness with God. That's what Christmas is all about. If we cheat ourselves of that, how true is this season really? How helpful is this season? And how does this season serve? Again, it's not about ignoring everybody else. That's not what I'm saying here today. I am saying take extreme care of you. And do it every single day.